Lamar Jackson is one of the only quarterbacks I ever seen win 2 MVPs and still get talked about like he on probation, man. That's crazy, because football fans would tell you all day, man, this is the ultimate team sport. But the second Lamar loses in January, nice, he can't win. Not the coaching, not the drops, not the fumbles, not the game plan, not the organization, just Lamar. But here's what the problem with that is. Lamar Jackson is not innocent, and Baltimore ain't innocent either, man. So tonight, we not doing fanboy talk and we not doing hater talk, man. We just asking the real questions. Is Lamar Jackson failing Baltimore? Or has Baltimore been wasting one of the most dangerous quarterbacks football has ever seen? I'm JG. This is JG Speaks, powered by Triple Threat Sportscast, man. Subscribe if you rock with real sports talk, dog. Now, today, we breaking down Lamar Jackson's legacy, the playoff failures, the coordinator changes, the Harbaugh era, and why this no ring conversation is way deeper than just saying Lamar got to win. You feel me? Because by the end of this, you might still blame Lamar, but you're not going to be able to blame only Lamar. You feel me? And it's going to be impossible. Let's start from the beginning, man. In 2018, Lamar didn't walk into some perfect franchise setup where everything was just already built for him. He came in as the last pick of the first round, man. Baltimore still had Joe Flacco there. You feel me? The offense wasn't fully designed around Lamar yet. Then Flacco gets hurt. You feel me? Lamar steps in, and the whole energy around the Raven changes. All of a sudden, Baltimore goes from looking stuck to looking dangerous, you feel me? And that matters because a lot of rookie quarterbacks need time to just survive. Lamar changed the identity almost immediately, you feel me? But then the playoff game against the Chargers happened. And, you know, that game exposed the early version of Lamar's offense, man. The Chargers had already seen him. They loaded up, they attacked the run, they made him uncomfortable, and they forced the mistakes, man. Lamar was raw, you feel me? The passing game was limited. The offense was dangerous, but it was not complete. So, yes, Lamar had to own the ball security, man. You know, but to act like that rookie playoff loss proved he couldn't play quarterback, that was lazy then and is lazy now. But don't leave yet, because this is where Lamar conversation gets twisted. Because most people only remember the playoff loss. They forget what happened when Baltimore actually built the offense around them. And that next version of Lamar didn't just win games. It changed the league, bro. When Greg Roman came in, Baltimore stopped trying to make Lamar look traditional. You feel me? They built around what made him different. And in 2019, Lamar Jackson turned into a cheat code. Unanimous MVP. 36 passing touchdowns, over 1,200 rushing yards. #1 scoring offense in football. You feel me? Defense looked confused at times. You feel me? Linebackers looked slow. Defensive coordinators looked like they were guessing. This wasn't no gimmick football, you feel me? This was one of the most unique offensive seasons the league had ever seen. But here's where the problem starts. The same system that made Lamar unstoppable in the regular season started to feel boxed in during the playoffs. Because when teams had extra time to prepare, Baltimore didn't always have that second answer. They could run through teams for 17 weeks, but in January, if the first punch didn't land, the counterpunch wasn't always there. And this is where Lamar fans get uncomfortable. Because if we going to defend Lamar from the lazy criticism, we also got to be honest about the games where he gave critics some ammunition. You feel me? And the 2019 Titans game, that one is on the evidence board. Baltimore was the 1 seed. Lamar was MVP. The Ravens were supposed to be the bully. And Tennessee walked into Baltimore and punched them in the mouth, man. Lamar threw 2 interceptions. He lost a fumble. Baltimore got stopped in short yardage spots where they were supposed to dominate. You feel me? That's not a game you can just explain away. Lamar has to wear some of that. You feel me? When you the MVP quarterback, when your team is the 1 seed, when the whole offense runs through you, you don't get to disappear from the accountability conversation. But that game also showed the flaw around them. Baltimore looked tight. The game plan looked stubborn. The offense didn't have enough answers when Tennessee took away the comfort zone. So yes, Lamar made mistakes, but Baltimore's whole operation failed that night too. That was not just a quarterback loss, that was a system loss. But here's the part the comment section always skips. They say, Lamar can't win in the playoffs. Like he never answered that criticism. So before anybody runs with that lazy take, let's go to the game people love to forget. In 2020, Lamar went back to Tennessee. Same team that embarrassed Baltimore the year before, man. Same storyline, same pressure. And this time, Lamar answered. Feel me? He ran for over 100 yards, broke that long touchdown run, and got his first playoff win, man. So the idea that Lamar has never shown up in January, that's not true. But then came Buffalo after that. And that game gave the critics a fresh receipt. 17-3, man. Red zone, pick 6. Teron Johnson takes it back 101 yards, man. You know, and that play still is on Lamar playoff resume, man. And Lamar has to own that throw. You cannot give away 7 points in a playoff game like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You cannot let one red zone mistake flip the whole night. But again, Baltimore as a team was bad. The offense didn't finish drives. You feel me? The kicking game had rare misses. The whole operation looked off. You know, that's a pattern. Lamar makes the mistakes everybody remembers, but when you watch the full game, the whole story usually left fingerprints, bro. Now stay with me, because the next part of the story is one of the biggest lies people still tell about Lamar. They say he never evolved. They say he's just an athlete. You know what I'm saying? They say he can't win from the pocket. But when Baltimore changed the offense again, Lamar didn't shrink. He leveled up. When Ty Monkey came in, the mission was clear. And now we got to talk about the game that might be the biggest reason this debate is still alive, dog. Because this wasn't a rookie game. This wasn't a limited offensive game. You feel me? This wasn't he needs more time. This was Lamar in MVP form at home. One win from the Super Bowl, and Baltimore still folded. Damn. The AFC Championship against Kansas City, that's the game that still bothers everybody. Baltimore had the MVP quarterback. They had some home field. You feel me? They had the defense. They had the crowd. They had the chance to finally kick the door down, man. And they scored 10 points. 10. Lamar had a fumble. Lamar threw a bad interception. Kansas City pressured him, blitzed him, closed his escape lanes, and made Baltimore look very uncomfortable. Lamar has to own that. No excuses. You feel me? In a game that big, your MVP quarterback has to be cleaner. But this is where people get lazy, because that one game was not just Lamar. Zay Flowers had the Taunton penalty, remember? Then he had the goal line fumble. You feel me? The Ravens abandoned the run game. Baltimore got dragged into the type of game Kansas City wanted. That's just not the quarterback failure. That's composure, that's coaching, that's situational football. That's your team getting away from his identity in the biggest moments of the season. So when people say Lamar lost that game, I say, no, Lamar contributed to the loss, but Baltimore helped build that loss. That's a big difference, bro. And this is where the conversation gets bigger than Lamar, because at some point, if the same franchise keep having different versions of the same January collapse, we got to stop only asking what's wrong with the quarterback. We got to ask what's wrong with the operation, dog. You feel me? That brings us to John Harbaugh. And I'm not about to disrespect Harbaugh like he didn't help Lamar. He did. We know that. A lot of coaches would have tried to force Lamar into a traditional quarterback box. Harbaugh allowed Baltimore to build around what made Lamar special, man. And that matters. You feel me? He gave the Ravens stability. He helped create the environment where Lamar could be Lamar. But Harbaugh also has to own the ceiling. He has to, man. He won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, but with Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP, Baltimore never got to the Super Bowl. You feel me? One AFC Championship appearance at home with Lamar in MVP form, and they still didn't finish. So both things can be true. Harbaugh helped unlock Lamar, but Harbaugh never finished the job with Lamar. And now Baltimore is in a new era, new head coach, new offensive voice, new pressure. But the same question is still sitting there. Can Baltimore finally build the finish around Lamar? Now, this is the part where I need everybody to be honest. Lamar haters are not gonna like this. Lamar fans, they ain't gonna like this either, because the truth is sitting right in the middle, bruh. And that's usually where the real conversation is. Lamar does not get a free pass. The ring standard is real. The playoff standard is real. The quarterback gets more credit, so the quarterback gets more blame. That's the job. You feel me? Lamar cannot keep having one playoff mistake that lets everybody control the narrative. He cannot force the throw. He cannot lose the fumble. He cannot try to play Superman when Baltimore needs him to be a surgeon, man. If he wants to shut everybody up, he has to be cleaner in January, but Baltimore has to be cleaner too. The coaches have to be cleaner. The receivers have to protect the ball. The tight ends have to catch the big pass. The game plan has to match the identity. The organization has to stop acting like Lamar alone can cover every flaw. Because that's how great players get trapped, dog. Not because they weren't great enough, but because the people around them never finished the job, dog. And this is the scary part for Lamar's legacy, because the NFL has done this before. You feel me? They take a great player with no ring, erase all the context, and turn his whole career into one missing trophy. That's how legends get Marino'd. Dan Marino was great, but no ring. Barry Sanders was great, but no ring. Then you got Calvin Johnson, who was great, but no ring. You feel me? And if Baltimore is not careful, people are going to do Lamar the same way, bro. You feel me? And if Baltimore is not careful, they're going to shrink a historic career into one missing piece of jewelry, man. And I ain't saying rings don't matter. They matter, but context matters too. Football is not one-on-one, dog. It is not tennis. It is not golf. It's 53 players coaching, health, protection, timing, defense, special teams, and situational football, dog. So when we talk about Lamar's legacy, we got to talk about all of it, man. The greatness, the mistakes, the coaching, the playoff failures, the front office, the whole bill, dog. Not just the quarterback. I'm tired of that, bro. For real. So here's my final verdict. Lamar Jackson is not blameless. He ain't totally out the question, man. He ain't off the hook. He owns part of Baltimore's playoff failures, but Baltimore owns the rest. And if this new era does not get it right, we may look back one day and realize the question was never, why could Lamar win the big one? The real question might be, how did Baltimore get one of the most dangerous quarterbacks football has ever seen and still not finish the job, man? That's the conversation. Lamar has to be better, yes. Baltimore has to be better too. You feel me? But only one side keeps getting handed the whole bill. And that's what I got a problem with. So y'all tell me, who deserves the most blame for the Ravens not reaching the Super Bowl in the Lamar era? Is it Lamar? Is it Harbaugh? Is it the coordinators? Is it the Ravens front office? Or is this one of those situations where everybody got fingerprints on the crime scene? Drop your verdict in the comments, man. JG Speaks, I'm out.